Ohio State went to overtime against Penn State before winning. On the other side is one of many weapons for the Hoosiers, and you see his 10 assists. He is among the nation's leaders in that category this season. Northwestern with the purple and black kits. Indiana, meanwhile, at home in the cream and crimson and white. Underway in the Big Ten quarterfinals. Here's Austin Pancho. In-swinging ball along the 6, headed out by Northwestern. Gutyar floats one in toward the back post. Got by Gutman, but still free, and then cleared off the line by the Wildcats. Back into the box, and the Wildcats clear their own end. Great chance for Indiana early on, off the initial corner from Pancho. Really crafty ball here from Gutyar. Cultured for Gutman, and then it was still free on the back line for Pancho, who had come in after taking the corner. Well done by the Wildcats to hold things up. Gutman tried to slat it through for Palazzolo. Cam Bisher is 6 in the purple for the Wildcats. 7 goals to his name on the season. And he gets another start up top for Northwestern. Good ball up the flank to the speedy Gutman, who runs onto it. Gutman into the box. All the way through for Gutyar, and it's saved by Miskovic. No foul called inside the box on Jake Robert, the senior outside back for Northwestern. Love the ball and the run from Gutman to get onto it. Palazzolo let it go all the way through, and Jeremiah Gutyar had a look at it. Hoosiers back the other way through the midfield. 3 shots in the last minute for the Hoosiers. Here's Rece Buckmaster, all Big Ten second team selection as a right back. Plays on the opposite side, of course, of Gutman, who draws so many of the headlines, and rightly so. But Buckmaster has been excellent as well. Here's Pancho. Into the box for Thomas, and Robert clears. Is in his 9th season as the head coach here in Bloomington, and our State Farm State of Success tells you that he's the Big Ten Coach of the Year, just announced on Friday. Look at his overall record in his time as the top man with the Hoosiers. This program has had just 5 losses total in the last 3 seasons, including the 2 losses this year. They come in on a 6-match winning streak today into the Big Ten quarterfinals. Out of the back, here's Frankie Moore. Does a nice job playing that 6th spot for Indiana. Gutman stops on a dime, cuts it back. Inside the box now, Gutman out in front, and it's saved by Miskovic. Volley sent wide. Big save early on from Miskovic, tasked with standing up against Andrew Gutman. Nice 1-2, and then Gutman found a way past Tomasino. Couple big saves already for Miskovic, who gets the congratulations from Gutman for making that stop. How cool is that? Right back the other way. Northwestern with Bardia Kimiavi getting the start, freshman from Virginia. Moore lost it in the midfield, and Northwestern starts out of its own end. To Kentucky, currently ranked 3rd in the country. Thomas dumps it back to Buckmaster. Moore with some space. Slots it through to Buckmaster into the box. Can Thomas turn? From a tough angle, Thomas centers. Palazzolo was on the end of it. It's a goal kick. Well, Indiana has come out humming offensively. Everyone getting involved. Tomasino was marking Palazzolo out in front. Indiana has dominated possession coming up on these first 15 minutes in the first half. Indiana brings it off the back line. This is Timmy Mel, the redshirt senior from Manhattan Beach, California. He's very good with his service, and he changed his fields to Gutman. Gutyar left-footed a little too firm. Gutman thinks it was deflected, but it'll be a goal kick for Northwestern. Here's this excellent ball out of the back. You see this often from the Hoosiers. There's Moore with space. Moore wants to change fields. Gutman made the run. Moore spotted him. Gutman flicks it on over the top and out for a goal kick. One more look at the service from Moore. Playing a very nice ball to the edge of the 18. Of course, it's not easy to make that Indiana backline make any errors.
They have been terrific, haven't they? I was doing a little bit of math, and I'm a journalism grad, so math doesn't come easy, but
Gutman gets it back top of the 18. Wanted one more pass.
You talk about Indiana's defense, Tim Mel in particular, Mike, and he's been a part of 40 shutouts in his career as a Hoosier.
High arcing back post ball.
Little combination play, and that opens things up as Mr. Gutman comes forward and slots his runner. Folks being a little too unselfish, maybe, like to see a ball get ripped at some point there. But Northwestern does well defensively.
Ohio State, Todd Yeagley, Indiana match today in this quarterfinal game.
This is a sub that we've seen throughout the course of the season with Spencer Glass now coming in for Indiana. We'll ID whether or not that means Andrew Gutman gets a little more freedom in the middle of the field. In the past, it has actually moved Gutman to the middle where he can upset things right down the throat of the opponent.
It was Palazzolo who came out. Here's Buckmaster getting involved. Slides it to the top of the 6. And couldn't get a clean strike on it with the marking from Northwestern inside the box.
Again, you can see just how tight Indiana wants to get inside there. Rece Buckmaster so comfortable with the ball at his feet. And Trevor Swartz not able to connect after getting tied up there defensively from Northwestern.
There's Matias Tomasino, who's moved back to play center back for Northwestern as this year's gone along.
Situation.
Swartz takes the corner. Spencer Glass has a strong left foot. Now Frankie Moore. Headed just over the bar.
Tim Lenahan loves Miskovic. He's got great presence in goal, and he's capable of the big play. He's demonstrated that time and again. That probably is going out if he doesn't touch it, but it's still good, composed play from your goalkeeper, who's only a sophomore and has so to be that leader, to be the guy that everyone could look to, both in the locker room and out on the field. And I think he's lived up to those expectations that the coaching staff have put out before him.
Yeah, on a senior-heavy team, you talk to those around the program. It's him, as Miskovic came out to punch it out. It's Gutman and Frankie Moore who are maybe doing the most of the talking around the team, like you said, on the pitch and in the locker room as well. Northwestern still backed up in its own end. Corey Thomas with plenty of space goes back over to the true freshman Mayer. Gutman finds Swartz. Clean tackle from Northwestern. Good job by Mazzola. And then he's bumped off the ball and a foul called on Spencer Glass.
Not easy to knock down at 6'4". Mazzola does well to shield this ball. Frankie Moore gets past him, and then Spencer Glass comes in with the contact. Mac Mazzola is a really good ball handler for a kid his size, and Tim Lenahan says that when they want to play with possession in mind, Mazzola is a necessary part of the ingredients on the field for Northwestern.
And we have not seen Jose Del Valle yet. Pulled up.
Corey Thomas does well up against several Northwestern defenders, but really not much in the way of an opportunity at goal. Eventually one touch too much.
Trevor Swartz bends it into the 6, headed back out, and Glass blasts it high.
Big service in, looking far post. And that second ball opportunity for Glass, that's a good one. Just take that hit. From the Indiana Hoosiers. Quick ball on the turn. Lay it off, and Corey Thomas gets it way outside. And then on that quick 1-2, not able to complete it. But that's really, that's a good sequence, and that's really good pace from the Indiana Hoosiers.
Trevor Swartz gets all the way through right along the 6, and it stays with Indiana.
Clearing the ball to safety for the Northwestern Wildcats.
Spencer Glass can provide a long throw. He does into the box. And who else but Mazzola got his head on it? Well-timed slide to keep it away from Glass.
Ziegelboim had a great game yesterday, Mike.
Really impressive freshman back. That one keeps rising. Off his mark, passing ahead. Now the final minute of this first half. Direct up top. Still in the air. Miskovic did not come out. Tomasino was trying to shield. And then how about Motterwell going over his fallen teammate to try to head that out? That's Garrett Opperman, the sophomore.
Thomas Moore goes up with him. And the head-to-head contact. Thomas Moore is a former hockey player, so he's going to get up off contact like that. But, man, both those guys need a minute to collect themselves.
Halftime in Bloomington, our Big Ten Season Awards, sponsored by Bayer. Todd Yeagley, the Coach of the Year. Trey Muse, another Hoosier, the Goalkeeper of the Year. And that's a theme, Indiana. With Andrew Gutman, the Defensive Player of the Year. There's a lot of talent in this conference.
Well, when you're the first team to go 8-0 in the regular season for the conference, you're bound to pick up some awards. This is one of my favorites, though, Jack Hallahan. I mean, I love Giuseppe Barone. Been tremendous this season.
And then Jack Mayer, the Freshman of the Year, rounding out the quartet of Hoosiers who take home awards, sponsored by Bayer. So it's halftime in Bloomington. There's no score just yet between Northwestern and the #2 team in the country, the Indiana Hoosiers. Trying to get things going. They had 13 shots total in the first half, and Andrew Gutman is a big part of why.
Well, he's the reigning Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week, isn't he? He's gotten that award 4 times. Here he is inside the box, and Miha Miskovic does really well to come off his line and block the chance. Even earns a fist pump from the opposing player. Frankie Moore with a big-time service to the far post. Opportunity there, not quite what Indiana wants, but Miha doing a really nice job of controlling the goal frame. Spencer Glass drops the ball in. Gutman going to the line and inviting a little bit of contact, but not enough to convince the referee.
So those were the best chances by far. The best 3 for Indiana, with nothing to show for it just yet after the... So we're underway in the second half in Bloomington. Indiana 15-2 overall this season against Northwestern, a team that certainly needs to win today or at least advance today to continue its season. Chris Doran, Mike Monaco, our entire BTN crew. As the Wildcats faced a lot of pressure from Indiana attacking-wise in the first half, but came out unscathed.
And I think what Indiana's going to want to do is they're going to want to move the ball a little bit faster. If they get that one goal that they searched for with, you know, almost a dozen shots in the first half, this game's going to open up and Northwestern's going to have to play a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, and be a little more assertive. Right now, the Wildcats coming out with some high pressure. We didn't see that much in the first half. But as they come out with the high pressure, now the field gets stretched and Indiana can start moving that ball and taking advantage of some of the gaps.
Sprinkling a bit here in Bloomington. The bad, heavy rain expected later. That's why this match was moved up a couple hours today. Here's Frankie Moore. Showed you the award winners in the Big Ten Conference at halftime. Jack Mayer, Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Opperman came out okay after that collision that he had in the box. He's back in his normal spot on the back line for Northwestern. Thomas was involved in some of the best chances for the Hoosiers early on in the first half. Far side, Buckmaster trying to shield Tommy Katsianis, the sophomore. Playing at Stanford. In the space for Spencer Glass. Bends one in, it's flicked into the box further, and then cleared by Opperman. Thomas.
Players like Spencer Glass, who can whip a ball in so well, is when you can change the point of attack. You've overloaded one side. Now the guys are making diagonal runs in towards the box, and you know, you put 3 or 4 targets in there, and players like Spencer Glass, who can whip a ball in so well, is when you can change the point of attack. You've overloaded one side. Now the guys are making diagonal runs in towards the box, and you know, you put 3 or 4 targets in there, and Spencer Glass is going to find one. He's been terrific for Indiana. Quick and strong, and you see how he works on the flanks so well. He's been terrific for Indiana. Quick and strong, and you see how he works on the flanks so well.
Redshirt sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Todd Yeagley very pleased with the season that Spencer Glass has had. A guy who didn't play a ton last year, but quietly does his work and has been a big part of the success this year. 2 wins for Northwestern all time against Indiana. A really conference-changing win back in 2004, and then a win in Evanston in 2009. They would take a win or any way to advance today. Brought down by Poncho at the top of the box. Loose in the midfield. Here's Emmett Gordon, senior from Brookline, Massachusetts. Nobody home inside the box. Glass goes up. And a foul called on Gordon, and Glass in pain.
I think Gordon just went ahead and committed to the contact. Didn't necessarily challenge for that ball.
Wasn't as physical in the first half as the match that Northwestern played yesterday against Ohio State. A lot of restarts, especially in the first half of that match yesterday.
Indiana's not the kind of team that wants to play a physical game, and Northwestern typically isn't either.
Sean Lynch. Hughes comes all the way out and plays it off his right foot. The second half, Glass. In swinging ball. Headed up by Ziegelboim and cleared. Gutjahr into space. Back post, Glass. Laid it square along the 6 with Palazzolo down in the box. Foul called on Northwestern. Katsianis doesn't like it.
Sequence moments before, it looks like Palazzolo just gets tied up on his run at the 12. He's up now. And Spencer Glass over the ball.
Here's Glass. That's knocked down. Schmidt plays over the top. Gutman is forward on the right side. Gutjahr. Didn't know that Katsianis was there for Northwestern.
Free kick, the service in, and the battle for the ball here. Great defensive work from Northwestern. Second chance opportunity has blocked it again. The Wildcats defensively.
We saw Poncho come back in. Thomas Ward is back in as well for Indiana. Moore slides it back through into the box, centered for Glass, knocked down, and Glass still with it. And Northwestern clears it outside the box.
Again, the pace of the attack and quick combination play. Ball slid through on that terrific 1-2.
In front of Miskovic. Glass got in front on the run.
It's really great build-up for Indiana.
Great ball from Ian Black. Just what you said, some guys who maybe haven't been at the forefront for Indiana in the attacking third this year. Todd Yeagley said to us, we've got 15 different guys on this roster who have scored a point. Glass's corner. Flicked inside and knocked down out in front. Headed up and over the bar. Indiana wants a handball.
Tommy Katsianis in the right spot at the right time. And if Indiana's not been frustrated to this point, they could be now. Ian Black figuring in this again, and Katsianis is right there on the goal line at the near post where he should be on a corner kick and doing the job that he's supposed to do.
Gutman had the initial header, and then Black the shot right at Katsianis. This touch, let's have another look.
Yeah, Gutman gets that head ball, and Black has that one opportunity. He goes right where Katsianis is.
And offers the help up Gutjahr. Moore floats one to Gutman. One touch centrally. Spencer Glass had the opportunity. And offside called with the flag up.
He's one of the best left backs in the country, but you see how offensively he is so dangerous. Lovely touch. And Spencer Glass is signaled offside in that sequence.
First meeting between these teams in the regular season, there was an offside call on Jose Del Valle as well. It was very close in that match here in Bloomington. Boy, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it always is. You know, the big surprise, I think, for a lot of teams is where's Michigan State? But that Maryland-Michigan State game going late and then going to just that one-goal decision, 1-0 in favor of Maryland. Spartans disappointed, no doubt.
Terps got the win to knock off the Spartans. They await the winner here between the Wildcats and Hoosiers. It's been all Indiana in terms of possession and opportunities. Buckmaster drops it off for Swartz. 10 assists to his name. He leads the Big Ten. Frankie Moore. Back post. Glass wants it on the left foot. Glass toward the end line out in front. Rebound is in. Indiana strikes first. Rece Buckmaster with a smile on his face. The right back on the back end of it.
Mike, this all starts on the far side of the field, believe it or not, as Indiana is keeping possession on the far side. Watch Northwestern's back line. They play quick combination play, but maintain possession. Northwestern has to step forward, then they drop back a little bit, then they have to step forward again. So all that fluctuation is really offering too much variety for Northwestern, and Indiana is able to capitalize by getting a couple players free and finish the play. That's just really great work from the Indiana Hoosiers and great awareness as well. As Spencer Glass goes on the dribble and puts a dangerous ball inside, and then it's just all about finishing it up for Rece Buckmaster.
That took a deflection out in front, perhaps off the post, and then Buckmaster just sliding in as the rain continues to fall. And he nets his 4th goal of the season, the senior. So in the 80th minute, here's another look.
Boy, that ball's got just a lot of pace on it. And the deflection off the post with open space on the far side. Rece Buckmaster shows his hunger to get there first.
Great look from our BTN crew. Marshall there behind the goal. So in the 80th minute, here's another look.
Boy, that ball's got just a lot of pace on it. And the deflection off the post with open space on the far side. Rece Buckmaster shows his hunger to get there first.
Great look. And no Jose Del Valle, the freshman from Spain who typically plays up top. He does a really good job holding up play for Northwestern. He grabbed his hamstring in the match yesterday in the second half. Back post, Northwestern gets a strike and a goal! Matt Motterwell. We are tied with less than 90 seconds left. Are you kidding me?
Mike, you asked what does Northwestern have left to offer. Motterwell in a solo effort with absolutely no angle. His back to goal after this long service. Watch this. Unbelievable. No angle at all, and he finds all of it.
Trey Muse with a look of disbelief, and he's not the only one here in Bloomington.
Muse is 6'4", so you take into account no angle, and he's running away from goal with that shot. He has to beat the goalkeeper too, and he does a wonderful job. That is just magical for Northwestern.
7 of the last 12 meetings now between these two programs have gone to extra time. Tomasino races over and dummies it out off the end line.
Well, there are contrast in styles, and I think that's part of the reason why. And both coaches really respect one another, but they also know that Northwestern knows that they're not Indiana, and Indiana realizes that they're not going to play like Northwestern. And so when these...
Inside the box, Glass. Back to the left foot. Thought about the shot. Now Frankie Moore. Moore has a go, and it's blocked by Lynch. Lynch hobbling. Glass back post. And it skips by Buckmaster with the rain pouring down. Mel, he's very good with service toward the back post and just wide. Gutyar into space. Moore calls for it and gets it from Buckmaster. 6 minutes into extra time. This is right around the point where Maryland found a goal in East Lansing earlier this afternoon to move past the Spartans into the semis. Lofted back post. Glass is there, and we have a winner. Indiana's moving on. Three goals in the last 17 minutes of play here in Bloomington. It took overtime, but the Hoosiers are still perfect in conference action this year, and they're moving on in the postseason.
Indiana's patience as Northwestern really stayed organized defensively was terrific in this overtime period. Frankie Moore getting a second opportunity to serve a ball across after the mix-up and the slip, and he puts it right to the far post where Glass gets inside his defender and finishes things up. Miskovich had all he could do to get to that far post on time, but Moore's ball to this far post is fantastic, and Glass's awareness to finish the play has been on display for a good part of his career, but this season he's having quite a year.
He got his 8th assist of the year to set up Buckmaster's goal in the 80th minute. And then on the other end of things, late in this match, the goal in the 97th minute from Spencer Glass. And Indiana is into the Big Ten semifinals. Here's a look at our Big Ten tournament bracket, again brought to you by Dr. Pepper. So 3 of the top seeds advance. Maryland got by Michigan State in the 4-5 matchup, and that is what we have coming up on BTN on Friday.
And before things kind of fell the way they were expected to, I suppose you could say.
So that's going to wrap it up from Bloomington. Thanks for sticking with us through a fun one that went into extra time. The number 2 team in the country, the top seed in the Big Ten, the Indiana Hoosiers, defeat Northwestern 2-1. Coming up next, it's Football in 60. For Chris Dorn, our entire Big Ten Network crew, I'm Mike Monaco saying so long from Bloomington, Indiana. The Hoosiers advance.